Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Train Effective podcast. I'm Hashir, and today it's only me. It's only me. We're doing something a little bit different today. It'll be more of a mini podcast, probably not as long as you're used to. What I wanted to get into today, straight away, let's get right into it from the start. 3 ways that you can improve your confidence right now. Yeah, right now. And I know we love we want things now. We want things quick. So 3 ways you can improve your confidence right now. And if I have obviously we're streaming live on YouTube for Spotify listeners. Sometimes I'll refer to YouTube comments that are coming in live and I'll answer some stuff too. But 3 ways to improve your confidence, and this is on the pitch. And honestly, these things, guys, girls, they translate to off the pitch as well. And that's one thing I always push for. That's one thing we always push for is not just improving on the pitch, yeah, improving off the pitch, because I think both of them go hand in hand. So the first real technique to improve your confidence rather quickly is visualization. Now, I know you hear that a lot. You probably hear visualization a lot, but I want to kind of go in depth on what is meant by visualization. Yeah. I'm not just talking about, okay, I'm going to picture myself before the game, scoring goals and good. That's actually a good start, but you need deeper visualization. If you want better results, if you want better results on, you need deeper visualization. So what I used to do to when I would visualize is I would listen to something and some type of music that I knew I'd be listening before the game as well. The night before, I would listen to that song, that type of music. I would picture, I'm doing it now as well. I would picture myself going to the match, walking onto the pitch, which boots I was going to wear, what kit we're probably going to wear. I would picture myself receiving the ball in midfield on the half turn and I don't know, playing a through ball, whatever it might be. Yeah. If you're center back, you might picture yourself doing outstanding tackles, outstanding slide tackles, the whole 9 yards, and it'll be different for each position. So for goalkeepers, if you're a goalkeeper, maybe you visualize yourself talking a lot, talking a lot, directing your back line where to go, mark him, mark him. Also, maybe obviously making saves, diving to the left, diving to the right. Really visualize, be intentional with your visualization. I think if you just kind of, I don't know, half-ass it, then your results might be mixed. I know that within my case, and pretty universal as well, if you visualize deeply, it's a massive benefit. And actually, we're talking about the brain. If you visualize deeply enough, sometimes your brain doesn't know what you're visualizing and what's reality, what the difference is. It can't really distinguish the difference between those two things. So when you're in that situation in the match, it's like your brain has already been there. It's like you've already been there. It's like you've already experienced that. So, massive tip. First one is visualize. Second one, you might know this, and this is pretty common sense, but training, but not just training. I'm talking repetition. Yeah, repetition, 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 repetition. Think about this for a second. You probably have something in your life that you do right now. Yeah. There's something, there's some skill, there's some habit. It could be anything. It could be washing the dishes. It could be, I don't know, making bracelets. It can be anything that you've done for many years. You're probably really efficient at it. You're probably really fast at doing it. You're probably, pretty resourceful with that one thing. And why is that? You've done it multiple times. You've done it many times. You've probably tweaked your approach here and there as well. A large part of it, though, is that repetition. You've just done it so many times. Um, this might be an interesting example, but when you go brush your teeth in the morning, you probably don't really need to think about brushing your teeth when you're brushing your teeth. It's just a thing. You know how to do it. You do it without thinking. The same can happen with certain things in footy, if not all things, with your shooting, with your passing, with your one-touch passing, with your crossing. You can get those things to a point where they're really second nature. And it's hard to not be confident in something when it is second nature. You're probably subconsciously confident of your ability to walk. Older guys, older girls, you guys are probably confident in your ability to drive a car if you drive a car, and it's not something you really worry about. But when you first started driving, it was very novel, it was very new. You might not have been that confident. You might have been, I don't know, kind of nervous on the road. After a few months, and then eventually after a few years, you're perfectly fine. So it's the same thing with anything in footy, yeah? Passing, shooting, dribbling. It's just repetition, just doing it over and over and over, and doing it over and over and over well, because that's when you can really convince yourself that, hey, look, I got this. I've done this a billion times. Um, One of my favorite TED Talks of all time, The Skill of Self Confidence by Dr. Ivan Joseph. And it is a skill. It is a skill. And the reason he says, and the reason I say, and the reason that many people say it's a skill is because it can be trained. Self confidence can be trained. So the great thing about repetition as well is once you've repeatedly done something very well multiple times, it's easier to visualize too, because you've seen yourself doing it in your own individual training. Then when it comes match day, you know what it's like to do it in individual training. It can easily translate into matches. The third, the third one, and we'll wrap it all together as well. I'll show you how to put these together as well. Third skill, third little hack to improve your confidence right away is body language. And this one I don't think gets talked about enough, because most people, what happens with most people and most players is their body language is reactive. And it makes sense on a psychological level, on a neurological level, that they're reactive, you know? How many times, I mean, well, we see it every weekend when somebody scores a goal, or somebody like scores a goal, they celebrate, they're like all pumped. When somebody gives the ball away for a goal, instantly just, you know, and it's reactive. But what if you were more conscious and aware of your body language? And what if I told you that your body language can actually control your mind a little bit rather than your mind controlling your body language? Um, well, it can. I'm telling you, it can. There's research and studies, all that stuff that's been done. Lots of research on it actually. That if you do demonstrate powerful body language, and what I mean by powerful is, for YouTube people, you'll be able to see this. Spotify, just picture you standing, hands on your hips, and chest out. If you do that for a minute or two, 2 minutes, or if you do the classic hands behind your head, legs crossed, leaning back in a chair, these are power poses. They're called power poses. And the reason they're called that is because with these moves, with this body language, two hormones are involved. Okay, so stick with me, guys. It'll make sense. Two hormones in our body, two chemicals in our bodies: testosterone and cortisol. Cortisol is like stress hormone. Testosterone is like dominance, kind of. With when we do these power poses, chest out, standing tall, hands behind our head, leaning back in a seat, power poses, our testosterone goes up. It goes up. The percentages vary, but in a study that Harvard did, I believe, testosterone went up like 20%. Yeah. So you're feeling much more confident. You're feeling much more powerful. You're feeling much more dominant. And these words are all tied into confidence. It's what confidence is. It's what you see when Cristiano Ronaldo is about to take a penalty. Yeah. It's what you see. You see, you can, and if you pay attention, you can see, like, you know, when you see something, see him taking a penalty, like, you know, he's gonna score. Certain players, you know, they're gonna score. They just exude that confidence, as it's always said. And with the cortisol going down, that's good, because that's a stress hormone that's going down. So you feel less stressed when you do these power poses. Now, my thing for you all is how to immerse these in a match, yeah? Well, let's do team training first. Next time you're at team training, before you're at team training, do it on the side of the pitch, do it and maybe in the toilet. Just do one of those power poses, yeah? Hands on the hips, chest out, just stand tall for 2 minutes. Another one you can even do is that Kylian Mbappe celebration where he goes like, mm. So any those power poses, you will feel more confident. Yeah, it's literally scientifically research proven that you will feel more confident, and that confidence will lead to obviously more success on the pitch. And the other big one, everybody, is that cortisol going down, the stress. Remember the stress chemical we talked about when you do these power poses, your stress levels reduce. So how many times before a game or before team training have you felt stress? Another word for stress, nervousness. How many times have you felt nervous or scared or all those things? I've been there. Yeah, when I first started playing soccer, footy, I remember my first, you call it rec. We call it rec here in America. My first few matches, sometimes like I would be a bit nervous because it's like my first game. I started playing so late. Blah 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 blah. Obviously, as games go on and years go on, you improve that. But maybe you're playing against a team that is better than yours. Maybe a lot of people are in attendance at your match. Maybe there's college scouts or professional scouts in attendance. You really need to kind of stack all these odds in your favor to make sure you're not feeling stressed and not feeling nervous, and you do feel confident and you do feel dominant and powerful on the pitch, because that's when you're going to play your best. And of course, nervousness and stress, these things do happen sometimes. It's not an unreal thing for you to be like nervous before the match, but what I'm trying to get at here is that you can correct it. You can definitely take action and correct it. And that three-step process that we've essentially, these three branches to improve your confidence: visualize, yeah? Visualize, deeply visualize yourself playing in the match or playing in the training before it's actually started. Your brain won't be able to tell the difference when you're deeply visualizing. So then, once you get onto the pitch, that situation in your mind won't seem new to you. Second one, repetition. Again, you're this time physically, that situation won't be new to you. If you're always nervous when, say, you're a winger playing on the left and the ball comes to you and you're 1v1 versus a defender, if you've practiced 1v1s in your own training and you've done tens, hundreds, thousands of reps on your own in training and they've went well, you will be more confident, because in your mind you're like, I just have to do what I've done in training. Yeah, I just have to do, like, just apply that now, and then you'll beat the man, and then I don't know, maybe get an assist or create a chance, and that raises your confidence even more because it's like, hey, I can do this stuff. It just takes one. It just takes one. I believe in you. And the third one is that body language, that power pose. Yeah, everybody, we all speak about body language. I don't know if you guys watch punditry or Sky Sports or all these things, but they're sometimes when teams aren't playing well, they always point out body language. They always point out there's too much sulking or whinging or words like that. Some words that I've never even heard before, but they do point out body language of teams that are demoralized or not playing for the manager, quote unquote. So again, if you can attack that, if you can change that, it'll greatly improve your performance. Yeah, greatly improve your performance. So remember, visualize, repetition, body language. These are the three. And I don't expect you to put all three of them together, like, like overnight. Like, what I mean is, get started on them now. Yeah. If you do the power pose right now for 2 minutes, you will feel more confident right now. Hence the title of this video and podcast. You will feel more confident. If you do 100 reps of the cutting in exercise from the Train Effective app, you will feel more confident cutting in. You will feel more confident cutting in. If you visualize your match tomorrow or at the weekend for the next few days, you will feel more confident on match day. This will happen. This will happen. And I'm again with the confidence. I'm confident in you all. I'm confident in you all, the listener. Um, no matter what it is, you can definitely work on confidence. Just because it's not a physical thing that you see all the time or directly see, you can indirectly see it. But just because it's something we don't see physically on YouTube, there's no compilations of confidence, um, like like I don't know, Neymar being confident for 20 minutes. I'm sure you can create that somehow, but there's no physical thing to look at there. It's more mental and psychological, but it can be improved. It can be trained. You just have to take the initiative. Excuse me. You just have to take the initiative and tell yourself, this is something I can improve. This is maybe one of my weaknesses, just like shooting or dribbling, and I'm going to make an action plan to improve it. So, with that being said, um, improve your confidence. I know you guys can do it. I believe in you all to be able to do it. It's trust me, it's not as difficult as it seems when you have a plan and when you put that plan into action. Now, if you do need help on the confidence, of course, DM me. Yeah, DM me. My DMs are always open to football players, soccer players, anybody really who needs help with these things. It's in the Spotify link below. It's in the YouTube link down in the description. This is more of a mini podcast today, guys. I don't have a guest right now. We decided not to have a guest this week just to see how this goes. We're trying it out. Let me know how it went. Let us know who you want to see on the podcast. Which football YouTubers would you like to see on the Train Effective podcast? Because I mean, we just want to help y'all and bring on whoever, whoever that person may be that can give you guys even more value. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next Train Effective podcast. Until then, keep training and stay effective.